All right, hi everyone. So originally we were not going to be able to talk about the artifact before Renegades, but there's a TWID. They're going to give us some artifact details, and so yes, I did test basically all the artifact mods that I think are going to be important in Renegades for damage and whatnot. So yeah, we're going to be going over the artifact, which is in this TWID, and I will be giving you some more details when we get to the artifact mods that I've tested. So yeah, you guys can watch all this stuff. Pretty exciting. Emblem for watching the stream. There's a, ooh, interesting. Dungeon World's First trophies. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so encrypted data disk. Yep, it's a 5x5 right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the artifact mods. So artifact mods, as I may have sneakily hinted at, or not so sneakily hinted at for the past couple weeks, it's going to be focused around kinetic stuff, swords, snipers. That's going to be the theme for this artifact. And like I've said, this artifact is probably the most activist artifact we've had in a while in terms of getting you to play a specific way. Compared to the Edge of Fate artifact, at least, this is a lot more in your face and a lot more you should definitely use these weapons. Okay, so I'm not going to focus too much on the first column. I mean, you have anti-barrier sniper, overload pulse, you know, this sort of stuff. Pretty cool. Let's see here. Yeah, this is not that important. Second column, usually not that crazy, right? Yeah, cool. Press the advantage. Again, not that crazy. Okay, kinetic synthesis. Is this the one that I'm thinking of? Yes. Okay, so this is a very, very powerful artifact mod. Kinetic synthesis. Very, very powerful artifact mod. Let me read you what my testing entails. So let's read this artifact mod. Sustained kinetic weapon damage and rapid final blows. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically how this works is when you're doing DPS to a boss, it will drop a brick that looks like a primary brick. It's going to be a white brick. And you need to do kinetic weapon damage to the boss. Now, the amount of damage appears to be, let me take a look here. It's a fixed amount, right? So you know how like temporal blast used to work where like you had to hit a certain damage threshold where like depending on the power scaling of the activity in lower power content, it's harder to hit this threshold. And in higher, when I say lower power, I mean lower power delta, right? And then when you're at light, it's a lot easier to hit this power threshold. Now, in my testing, I tested a bunch of different weapons. It's approximately 3,800 damage. Okay, so at +0, for example, the heavy sniper with even like a small amount of buffing, not even tractor, I think, like a small amount of buffing, can easily hit 3,800 damage per shot. So you're literally making an ammo brick every single time you shoot the boss, and everyone can do this. Okay, I don't think it makes it for your teammates, but you basically have infinite ammo. Okay, like it's basically infinite ammo for weapons like Izzy, for weapons like the heavy sniper. So very, very strong. Column 3 mod too, but like very, very strong. Probably in like a contest setting where you're like -30, it might take 2 shots, maybe 3 shots to make the brick, but you know, still free ammo, right? Still free ammo. So yeah, that's cool. And also, right, if you're running, let's say you're running Izzy and the heavy sniper, you get ammo in both of them. It's a kinetic brick, so it gives you ammo in both of them. So cool stuff. Reload at range, whatever. Riposte, yeah, that's kind of whatever. A lot of stuff in the artifact and also in the set bonuses that are in like kind of in the theme of playing around your sword, right? So like kind of blocking a little bit, waiting a little bit, pacing your attacks. That's a big theme with this season and also with this artifact. So there you go. Power from pain, we've seen that before. Dielectric, seen that before. Armor smith, yeah, whatever. I didn't test the DR, but you know, that's probably good. Counter energy, whatever. Combination Argent Blade. Okay. So Argent Blade is back. This one is a little bit different from previous iterations of Argent Blade because it doesn't actually require armor charge, which is nice. So you're not going to chew through armor charge. I mean, obviously, a lot of people like using attrition orbs for like swords and stuff, so you probably didn't even need to worry about armor charge, but it's not going to chew through armor charge. Instead, you got to pause for a little bit. And the pause is quite short, right? It's not like you have to sit there for like 3 seconds. It's kind of short, right? And there's other stuff you can do during this pause. So for example, like you can guard with a sword. I think there's some other stuff in the artifact and also set bonus wise where it's like you would guard with the sword, it would increase your damage, and then you would like go back in for an attack. So you might see sword combos this season where you pause for a little bit, maybe you block, and then you go in for another attack, okay? The damage is 15%. So Argent Blade is 15%. Yeah, pretty straightforward. That's how that works. Okay, Singularity Blade. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. Didn't really need testing. Okay, Elemental Orbs Arc. Okay, I forgot about this. Yeah, this is these orbs are kind of annoying sometimes, but you know, whatever. Not really relevant for damage. Okay, Kinetic Rupture. This is a big one. So this is an artifact mod where like, unless you tested it, you would have no idea how good it is. basically how kinetic rupture works is when you do kinetic damage against the boss, so like Izzy or, you know, the disruption sniper, whatever, right? Refurbished. It says a chance, but like when you do more damage, it like appears faster. So it's not like a weapon like Microcosm is going to create them way faster because every single time you shoot the boss, it's like you know, it re-rolls the chance. It's like, it might be a counter system of some sort. It didn't really seem like an exact specific number in the same way that kinetic synthesis works. But basically, if you shoot a boss with some kinetic damage, it's going to create this glowing orb of light on the boss. Okay, it says a kinetic rupture. It doesn't look like a fissure or anything. It looks like a glowing white orb, whitish yellow orb on the boss. Okay, and this orb can appear anywhere on the boss's hitbox. It can be on its head. It can be under its butt. It can be behind the boss, which can be annoying. And when you shoot this rupture, it makes a damaging explosion that staggers combatants. Now, this seems like, oh, okay, that's like some LARP shit. You know, it doesn't seem that good. It is very strong, okay? And the reason is this rupture's explosion scales with what you shoot it with. And whatever you shoot it with, it does double the damage of whatever you shoot it with. And the source of the rupture, the source of the kinetic damage that creates this rupture does not impact your eventual explosion that you trigger by shooting the rupture. So what am I getting at here? What I'm saying is you can do kinetic damage with whatever you want. You could do it with multi-mock and you can make this rupture. And then you can shoot a ×4 Izzy into the rupture and it will do 2 times damage when you break that rupture. 2 times damage of a ×4 Izzy. So pretty cool stuff. But yeah, if the rupture spawns on the back of the boss, it's kind of annoying. And also, I experienced some bugs, which I reported, where like if you shoot the rupture, sometimes it has immunes or something and it doesn't do any damage. But for the most part, it was pretty consistent. And yeah, that's kinetic rupture. But yeah, it's a cool thing, right? You can have one person run it, and then you could have one person be the rupture guy on the team so that everybody doesn't waste their ×4 Izzy's like shooting the same rupture, right? So you get one guy be the rupture guy on the team. They target the ruptures. Everyone else just does normal damage. And it's like a free like 2 times damage boost to like whatever you shoot with. So, you know, pretty cool. I don't know if they've changed the scaling since I played, but that is how it works. So pretty cool. Sniper's Meditation, I already said this, is 15%. Not really much to talk about there. And then finally, the last interesting artifact mod is Sword Storm Combo. So you probably saw this yesterday in the preview with the devs playing, and you saw that kind of like, I was LARPing yesterday. I was like, oh man, what is this white aura that's spinning around this guy and making the ding? Yeah, that's Sword Storm Combo. So Sword Storm Combo, the way this works is 3 light, 1 heavy makes this kind of spinning aura around you. It's like a slicing chain or something. I don't know. It's like a slicing thing around you. And it has a cooldown, obviously, like after you activate it, like while you're hitting a target with it, you can't like, okay, how do I explain this? So like while it's spinning around you, you can't do 3 light, 1 heavy, and then it will like refresh itself, if that makes sense. You have to be like, it has to be fully gone before you can do it again. But there's not like a long internal cooldown or anything. It's like the second they disappear, you just have to hit 3 light, 1 heavy after that. Okay. In terms of damage, you might be wondering, right? This is the type of artifact mod where it's like, you have no idea how much damage it does until you actually use it. So I will give you some numbers. Okay, my notes here are a little disorganized, but I did some testing, I believe, with Ill Omen in the shooting range, and I think I did testing over a long period, enough to do like 2 Sword Storm combo cycles, and the damage went from 11,352 over a period of like 4 or 5 combos or something like that to 13,427. So that is an 18% increase to sword damage, even including those periods where you're doing the combo and it's not contributing to your next Sword Storm combo. So yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, Sword's pretty good this season. Sniper is pretty good this season. Yep. And for those of you who are not paying attention, the Praxic Blade is a kinetic sword. So it will benefit from multiple of these things, right? It will benefit from kinetic synthesis. It will benefit from kinetic rupture. As you've probably seen in my weapons video, though, like the Praxic Blade doesn't really need ammo. Like there's no way you're running out of ammo with that thing. Like the relentless effect is just very, very strong. So yeah, you don't really need kinetic synthesis, but it will interact with some of the other stuff here. I don't know if that's enough to make, this artifact is very clearly designed around the heavy sniper, and it's designed around Still Hunt, and it's designed around the Praxic Blade. Because the Praxic Blade is the only sword in the game whose optimal combo is 3 light, 1 heavy. Every other sword in this game, especially some of the newer swords with that buff charge rate like Synancia, they like 1 light, 1 heavy or 2 light, 1 heavy. So in order to fully play into this, you're going to need to use, I guess, the Praxic Blade. But 3 light, 1 heavy is not the worst. And if you don't have any Lucent Blade combo, if you don't have any Lucent Blade copies on your chest, every sword is fine with 3 light, 1 heavy. So, kind of take it or leave it. Yeah, that's the artifact. Swords are good. Snipers are good. Kinetic stuff is good. But yeah, you can see why I'm saying this is like one of the strongest artifacts, one of the most like activist artifacts that we've had in the past like 2 years, really. Bunch of like 15%, 18%, double damage on kinetic rupture, bunch of like stuff packed in there for you guys to play with. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this artifact stuff. I mean, we already talked about this in the video. Praxic Blade, blah, 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 Luzaku. Yeah, yep, that's gonna be in tomorrow's video. Yep, cool. Right, that is pretty much it. Yeah, a lot of articles linked here. Yeah, okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little review of the artifact mods. Going to be exciting to test swords next season. We haven't had a sword meta in a while, and going to be very exciting to test the heavy sniper with Darcy and co. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you've enjoyed this little artifact preview.